Wow, talk about a spectacular crash and burn. Steam reviews mostly positive, 1800 before Origin. After Origin, mixed reviews, 445 reviews mixed. It's getting review bomb. Was just checking the Steam reviews for this, and boy, I don't think I've ever seen something crash and burn this hard since the Genshin review bombing. Wonder if the reviews will ever get back to the rates it had before the update. Too bad global player base is filled with some spineless cucks that were white knight for a company that screwed them. WTF? So it is difficult to form a unified response. Korea Play Store rating is really down to 1.3 or so. I think CS has problems and might die. A pity. I like parts of the story quite a lot, and it's pretty polished game, but the update is a symptom, not the cause. Imho. The previous fair and generous model was apparently running it to the ground, but often the pay to win change doesn't work, and the revenue becomes even lower, leading to EOS. Not because of the update, but because it, as in ditch effort to bring in some money, didn't work. And above all, because the game or previous or system or didn't work for one reason or another. You reap what you sow. Something like that. I'll keep playing for the story without spending a single cent, but wouldn't surprise me if there's no more CounterSide before 2024. No more CounterSide before 2024! It wouldn't surprise him if there's no CounterSide by the end of this year. All this being said and done, what are the alternative gachas as good as art or characters as CounterSide? I'm already playing Epic 7, but I haven't found another game that does art this good. Wow, he's looking for a different game! He's ready looking for a different game. Azulian gameplay sucks and cannot do Genshin or any clones anymore. Nikke has great art, music and a compelling story, like CounterSide, but it's a very different game. Also has full English voice acting. It's also been run to the ground, nerfing rewards and censoring characters, and the officials are Reddit. The daily take goddamn forever, I had to stop playing. Still worth looking at if you know what I mean. CS in Play Store is slowly reaching 3.0. It's at 3.2 as of the writing for this reply. This just shows how cuck Westerners are. Wow! Westerners! Okay, let's have a look. CounterSide review. 3.8 global Studio B side. Let's see. Studio B side, huh? 3.9! Zilong is losing! Yo, Zilong is losing! It was predictable. They masked the fact that they are making the game harder and more expensive for both pay-to-win and free-to-play players with some Awaken SSR coupons. So the coupons, the Awaken SSR coupons, is all to mask, to hide the fact that the game is now pay-to-win. Everything is more expensive, resources are more difficult to gather. One big mistake emo is the removal of XP gains for characters that made everything progress slower and feel more grindy. Well, I've seen global players did something similar with the Hololive collab, which by the way, despite a lot of the efforts B-side did into the skin-only collab, happens to be one of the most poorly designed collabs in terms of execution, but never in this level in regards to the global Origin update from the KR players. That being said, I've seen similar review bombings done by the KR fanbase in other gacha games like Epic 7, but had their reviews rebound afterwards anyways. I don't defend the practice of review bombing, as I've seen people review bomb TV shows and movies for very trivial or petty reasons. However, I do share some of the same concerns with the KR players regarding the update, plus the fact that global players in PvP are being dunsted by JP players because B-side manages to merge the PvP servers for both JP and global, despite what was said earlier about the server PvP merge. The update is a net negative, emo. Okay, net negative. The reason people are happy is for one of the time handouts, not for the long-term impact. Shadow Palace is gutted. Dupe system made the game much more pay to win, while the devs' response being, we balance the game around not having any dupes, so no improvements to it will be made, is borderline a spit to the face. The people saying the dupe system is minimal don't understand how big it is and straight up are ignoring the fact that it went from non-existent to effectively a 4 to 6 level difference that matters more than the better your gear is. In the worst case scenario, 64% damage reduction, and 70 is a 17% difference in tankiness. It's funny, originally how much copium we've had for the update considering global PvP got effed the hardest by having JP whales run all people over with some with units we won't even have for a month at least. If you want an idea of how badly the JP abused the code gas, Operator Thunderbolt is current ban 1 this week, and the highest rated PvP player was a Vilmu plus Thunderbolt spammer. Thunderbolt spammer! Thunderbolt is ban 1, yes. On global server, Thunderbolt is ban 1. And yeah, what that guy say is somewhat true. Why is Thunderbolt ban 1? Because it's good for mech teams, and Code Geass can abuse it. Because some people can't accept the fact that the company they rooted for is actually not what they thought it was. If they accept things as is, then that means they were wrong. But if they defend it, they can say that they weren't wrong and that everyone's just overreacting. Since some people can't let go of their ego enough to admit that they were wrong, they'd much rather just insist that they are right and everyone else is wrong. So if you like this update, you're wrong. Any person who white-knights a corpo is a pathetic piece of shit. Corpos are not your friends, family, heroes, or role models. They are corpos. They either do something right or something wrong in the name of profit. End of story. Oh my god, essay. Oh, 49 upvotes essay. Okay. This is rare. 49 upvotes essay, guys. We usually essay is like 3 upvotes, 1 upvote. This one 49 upvote. Okay, high quality. Okay, let's have a look. There's a reason why you get 49 upvote. Original rearm system: Awaken Chifuyu, Awaken Jake, Awaken Horizon, Maestra Nikusha, release, and then buff or change. Change nerfs for Taolin, Orca, Goliath, Pendragon, Kang, etc. Sometimes almost instantly. There's more, but the point is, Studio B-side screwing up is not uncommon. The difference was that in the past, this never affected C, Global, Taiwan, CN, JP players, since every piece of new content was first released in KR, and when it was a miss, it got changed before it hit the other servers. Seeing how Hololive was never changed makes sense, since they did the same with the Guilty Gear collab. I guess with collabs, it's different. If they screw up, they have to take the L. So call me optimistic, but looking at the past history, changes are expected at this point. The problem is that this keeps happening over and over. I was going to say that KR players are probably used to it by now with the devs shoot first and ask questions later approach to new content, but isn't the case since in the Origin update stream, there was a clear interest in players of having a test server. This approach of using KR players as a test server used to work in the past. They bled KR players with each screw up, but this helped the rest of the servers getting curated or changed content. C and global players never experienced the frustration that was fighting Day 1 Goliath and the release of Rearm, Pendragon, and Kang Bomb. Hence why a damage limit was introduced to the ships. Yes, so that was very broken back then when Rearm Elizabeth, Rearm Kang was a thing. Back then, they can literally reduce your ship's HP by 75%, which is insane. If Studio B-side intends for global and the rest of the servers catch up to KR, then moving forward, they simply can't keep screwing up this badly every couple updates, because even though they are known to change or revert their decisions, they will now bleed not only KR players, but global, C, Taiwan, and CN as well. Wow. Yo, what do you guys think of this essay? Alright, upvote. This is a cool one. This guy is a professional essay writer. Very concise. There's also a very detailed stuff, right? Cool essay. A plus for sure. Alright, this is a very good essay. The paragraph is all very well written. The format's very good. He even added this properly, right? He even used bold. See, he used bold. He knows how to use all this important one, right? So there's full stops used correctly. Everything is, the formatting is as good as it gets. Amazing how I said a lot of this in another thread and was getting consistently downvoted for it. So I'm glad people are seeing what you're saying and agreeing. People need to face the music that their communication is clearly consistently poor instead of being forthcoming and upfront constantly. It's usually a break something, fix in down the line scenario, which for a game of this size and install base is really going to bleed the player base as time goes on. Ooh, my more essay! This is something that I will agree with. If you are a smaller mobile game developer or publisher like B-side, you kinda have less room to screw up on, especially regarding to them also handling other servers like C, Global, JP, CN, Taiwan. Being a smaller developer or publisher means you need to make a good impression to your player base, and if you mess up on one particular content, the fan base will remember you for your mess up. I.e. global players will never forget how whaley the Hololive collab was. However, I will say I tend to be more forgiving to a smaller developer or publisher than a larger developer or publisher like Smilegate or Side Games. Pseudo B-Side seems to be a company that wants to learn and try out something and implement things themselves. Like for example, the tactical update content is very similar to what Genshin Impact has with their constellation system, and it's a good idea in paper, but bad in execution due to the fact that CounterSide has a PvP system while Genshin does not. Let's talk about the Hololive. Despite the effort B-Side plays into the collab, it's a lot of effort for skin-only collab. I have to call them out for the execution of the collab, for being really whaley and turning off newer players, for making the game look like a cash grab despite being on the contrary. In a similar sense, I do reserve a lot of my criticisms regarding some implementations of the global origin update, while including the past event stories in the side stream is nice. The fact that you cannot skip battle normal stages and the only 3 per day hard stages, while the event shop requires 100 of currency, is one of them. Others being the removal of fodder gear in Swift dungeons, removal of battle EXP, and dives being harder than in the past. As a near launch day C player, and then launch day on global player, and seeing the game's changes over time, this is completely expected of B-Side. They prove themselves to be both the greedy and incompetent over the lifespan of CounterSide. To think Zilong and Nexon were actually better than them is crazy. I'm still here because of what I've invested, sunk cost fallacy, but really, I don't want to be here any longer. Overreaction as always. -11! -11! This is just a little thing, but it highlights the problems of this update for me personally. They haven't announced anything about challenge coins being deleted, right? Because I haven't spent any since I started playing, and now it all just got deleted with no compensation. Lol. -8? Why he get -8? He's just asking a question. He didn't even defend. He didn't even say, yo, guys, calm down. We shouldn't review bomb. He asked a question. What happened with his challenge coins? And he got -8? Destroyed, man. Destroyed. New Origin update is a massive downgrade. Not recommended. The latest patch with merge with JP with Global is a gigantic mess. This update is ass. You can tell the devs don't play their own game. Before I played this, I had a small wee-wee. No girlfriend. Absolutely no will to live. None of these things have changed, but the game is pretty good. Huh? I feel ashamed for recommending this game to my friends now. I play on mobile daily. All I can say to the developers is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I've never seen a gacha crash the value of their own in-game currency to entice users into spending. What the hell do you do to your game? It broke the game, made it 10 times worse than it was. The update today has been a circus so far. A bad one at that. Radio silence all across the board from developers, both here and Discord. Everything looks a bit fancier, but it drained all of their colors. With this new update, I do not recommend this game any longer. They have made it far more difficult for players, removed good things about the game, and made it even harder to obtain things that newcomers could get to help them along. But yeah, most of it seems to be downwards. You can see a lot of downwards. A lot of downwards, guys. Steam, it's not looking good. It's not looking good.